Captain Hyun Ta-won stood alone in the viewing chamber of Earth Defense Station Alpha. The stars looked cold and distant through the reinforced glass. He knew that among those stars, alien races talked about humans. They did not say nice things. "Captain, you asked to see me." Ta-won turned to see Chief Engineer Kim Do-ha at the doorway. Her black hair was tied back in a simple knot, and dark circles under her eyes showed she hadn't slept much. "Yes, Engineer Kim, I hear you have something to show me. Something that might change our future." Do-ha nodded and placed a small device on the table. It projected a blue image into the air. The image showed a ship unlike any Ta-won had ever seen. "This is the Thunderbird," Do-ha said. Her eyes shone with pride. "A warship that can save Earth." Ta-won walked around the image. The ship had smooth lines and odd angles. It didn't look like Earth ships or alien ships. It looked like something new. "Is it possible?" he asked. "The Thunderbird isn't just possible, Captain. It's inevitable." Ta-won had known Do-ha for 7 years. She didn't make wild claims. If she said something could be built, it could be built. "Tell me why we need it," he said. Do-ha tapped the device, and the image changed to show the galaxy. A small blue dot marked Earth's place. Around it, hundreds of other dots showed alien worlds. "Since we joined the Galactic Council 5 years ago, how have they treated us?" Do-ha asked. Ta-won frowned. "Like children. Like we're stupid and weak." "Exactly. They see us as primitive. They give us the smallest voice in all votes. They deny us access to higher technology." Do-ha's voice grew hard. "And they will not help us if we are attacked." "You're talking about the Taraki," Ta-won said. The image changed again, showing red ships with sharp points and strange glowing weapons. The Taraki had not joined the Galactic Council. They took what they wanted. They had noticed Earth. "Yes, their ships have been seen near our outer colonies. The Council knows this, but they say it's not their problem." Do-ha pointed to the Thunderbird image. "So I made it our solution. What makes this ship so special?" Ta-won asked. Do-ha smiled. "It breaks the rules. I've taken technology from 7 different alien races and combined them in ways they never imagined. The Thunderbird has shields the Taraki can't break, weapons they can't stop, and a drive system that will make it faster than anything in the galaxy." "The Council forbids technology mixing," Ta-won said carefully. "Yes, they claim it's dangerous. But I think they just want to keep each race limited. Controlled." Do-ha looked him in the eyes. "Captain, they won't help us. We must help ourselves." Ta-won nodded slowly. "Show me your team." The underground lab was hidden beneath Moon Base Sierra. 4 people worked at different stations. They looked up when Ta-won and Do-ha entered. "Captain, this is my team," Do-ha said. "Lee Jae-hoon, weapons specialist." A man with broad shoulders nodded. "Sir." "Park Sun-mai, quantum physicist." A woman with short hair gave a quick bow. "And Bak Dong-huk, AI systems architect." A young man with glasses smiled. "It's an honor, Captain." Ta-won looked around the lab. "You've been working in secret." "We had to," Park Sun-mai said. "The Council has spies everywhere. They don't want humans to advance too quickly. What we're doing here would get us all banned from Council space," Lee Jae-hoon added. "But it might save Earth." "Show me what you've built so far," Ta-won said. Bak Dong-huk tapped his screen, and a wall slid open. Behind it was a large room with a glowing core inside a clear container. "This is HFY, the heart of the Thunderbird," Bak said. "An AI system that combines human neural patterns with alien computing systems. It can think in ways neither humans nor aliens can alone." "Is it safe?" Ta-won asked. "No new technology is completely safe," Do-ha admitted. "But we've taken every precaution. HFY has been grown slowly, with constant ethical guidelines." Ta-won walked to the container and looked at the swirling patterns inside. "And the weapons? The drive system?" Lee Ji-hoon led them to another section. The gravitic lance takes moldery gravity manipulation and combines it with Xenar focusing technology. No known shield can stop it. He pointed to diagrams on the wall. And this is the quantum displacement drive. It doesn't just move through space. It shifts between possible locations. The ship will be impossible to track. How long until it's ready? Taiwan asked. 6 months for a working prototype, Duha said. But we may not have 6 months, a new voice said. They turned to see a woman in formal council attire. Taiwan recognized her at once. Representative Choi Yoon-seo, he said. What brings council staff to our secret lab? Yoon-seo's face was grim. I came to warn you. The Terraki have moved their fleet. They'll reach the outer colonies in 2 weeks. The room went silent. The council response? Duha asked, though she already knew. They voted not to intervene. They say it's a natural evolutionary process for stronger species to test weaker ones. Yoon-seo's voice was bitter. I tried to change their minds, but only 3 races voted with Earth. Taiwan looked at the team, then at the Thunderbird plans. How quickly can you work? If we had more help, more resources, Duha began. You'll have them, Taiwan promised. Whatever you need, even against council rules. Park Sun-mei asked. The council has abandoned us, Taiwan said firmly. We stand alone. 2 weeks later, the first Terraki ships appeared near Neptune colony. The Earth ships stationed there were old and few. They fought bravely. They died quickly. In the command center on Earth, Taiwan watched the colony signals go dark one by one. 3,000 people lived there, had lived there. Captain, we have an incoming transmission from the council, an officer said. On the main screen, an alien with pale blue skin appeared. It had 4 eyes and spoke in a high voice. Captain Hyun Taiwan, the council expresses regret for your loss. However, we must remind Earth that unauthorized military expansion will not be permitted. Our sensors detect unusual activity in your asteroid belt. We expect full compliance with technology restrictions. The screen went dark before Taiwan could reply. They know, Duha said quietly from beside him. Or they suspect. And still they do nothing to help, Taiwan said. He turned to her. How soon can the Thunderbird fly? 4 months at best. We need more time. Taiwan shook his head. The Terraki will reach Earth in 3 months. We don't have more time. Duha looked at the dark screen, then at the map showing the advancing Terraki fleet. Her face hardened with determination. Then we'll have to make time, she said. Captain, I need your authorization to use experimental methods. It will be dangerous. For the ship. For all of us. For Earth itself if we fail. Duha met his gaze. But if we succeed, the Terraki will learn that humans are not easy prey. Taiwan thought of Neptune colony. Of the 3,000 voices now silent. Of the billions on Earth who would be next. Do it, he said. Build your ship, Engineer Kim. Show them what humans can do when pushed too far. Duha nodded and turned to leave. Duha, Taiwan called after her. Make it hurt when it strikes. They expect us to die quietly, Captain, she replied, her eyes cold and determined. Let's show them how humans respond to threats. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter was a perfect hiding place. Thousands of large rocks floated in space, hiding the secret shipyard inside one of the largest asteroids. Here, far from prying eyes, the Thunderbird took shape. 3 weeks had passed since the fall of Neptune colony. The Terraki ships had moved on to attack the Mars outposts. Earth ships fought back, but they were too few and too weak. Each day brought news of more losses. Inside the hidden shipyard, Kim Duha hadn't slept in 2 days. She stood looking at the half-built Thunderbird. The main body was complete. Workers moved like ants over its surface, adding plates and systems. It's beautiful, said a voice behind her. Duha turned to see Park Sun-mei walking up to join her. The quantum physicist looked as tired as Duha felt. Will it be enough? Duha asked quietly. Sunmai didn't answer right away. They say it can't be done, she finally whispered. That humans lack the neural capacity to understand the technologies we're combining. Li Ji-hoon joined them, wiping his hands on a cloth. He had just finished mounting the gravitic lance, the main weapon of the Thunderbird. Then they've never seen humans with their backs against the wall, he said with a grim smile. How's the weapon system? Duha asked. Ready for testing. If it works like we think, nothing in the galaxy can stand against it. A loud alarm suddenly rang through the shipyard. Red lights flashed. What's happening? Sunmai asked, her eyes wide. Duha ran to the nearest control panel. Security breach in Section 7, near the reactor. The three of them ran through the corridors. Workers rushed past them, heading away from the danger. When they reached Section 7, they found Bak Dong-huk trying to close a door. Behind the door, bright light poured out. Dong-huk, what happened? Duha shouted over the alarm. Sabotage, he yelled back. Someone planted a device on the reactor. It's destabilizing. If that reactor blows, we lose everything, Lee Jae-hoon said. The ship, the yard, everyone here. Duha pushed past Bak to look into the room. The reactor glowed with unnatural light. The computer panel next to it showed critical readings. I can fix it, she said. But I need time. We don't have time, Bak said. He looked at his friends with a sad smile. But I can buy you some. Before anyone could stop him, Bak pushed Duha back and slipped through the door. He sealed it from the inside. Bak, Sunmai screamed, pounding on the door. They watched through the small window as Bak ran to the reactor. He placed his hands on the control panel. The door had a speaker, and they heard his voice. I'm linking with HFY, he said, referring to the AI system he had created. I can use the neural interface to manually stabilize the core. That's too dangerous, Duha said. The feedback could kill you. Better me than all of us, Bak replied. His voice was calm. Keep building the ship. Make it worth this. The light grew brighter. Through the window, they saw Bak's body arch in pain as energy flowed between him and the reactor. Slowly, the alarm stopped. The light dimmed to its normal glow. Bak collapsed to the floor. Captain Ta-won arrived at the shipyard 2 days later. He found Duho working on the bridge of the Thunderbird. I heard about Bak, he said. I'm sorry. Duha didn't look up from her work. He's not dead. Not exactly. She led Ta-won to a special room near the heart of the ship. Inside was a new version of the HFY AI system. This one pulsed with a strange rhythm. When Bak linked with the AI to save the reactor, something happened. Duha explained. His consciousness transferred. Part of him is in here now. Tai-won stared at the glowing core. Can he communicate? As if in answer, a voice came from speakers around them. It sounded like Bak, but with an odd echo. Hello, Captain, HFY/Bak said. I am still here. Different, but here. Tai-won didn't know what to say. This was beyond his understanding. Is this allowed? He finally asked. No, Duha admitted. The Council forbids merging consciousness with machines. They call it an abomination. And what do you call it? I call it a miracle, she said firmly, and an advantage we desperately need. Tai-won looked troubled, but nodded. How much longer until the ship is ready? 2 weeks. Maybe less now that HFY has Bak's knowledge. We may not have 2 weeks, Tai-won said grimly. The Taraki have broken through the Mars defense line. They'll reach Earth in 10 days. Representative Choi Yoon-seo moved carefully through the Galactic Council space station. She knew she was being watched. As Earth's representative, she was not trusted, especially now. She entered a quiet corner and pressed a hidden button on her wrist device. The Council knows about your project, she said quietly into the device. They're sending inspectors to the asteroid belt. You have 3 days before they arrive. Miles away, Duha received the message. She gathered the team immediately. "We're out of time," she told them. "We launch in 3 days. Ready or not?" "The weapons are online," Lee Jae-hoon reported. "Life support is working. But the quantum drive is only at 60%. The hull plating isn't complete," Sun Mai added. "There are gaps in the rear quadrant." Duha took a deep breath. "We work without sleep for 3 days. Whatever isn't finished, we'll have to complete after launch." For the next 3 days, the shipyard was a storm of activity. Workers rushed to finish critical systems. Parts that weren't essential were left behind. The Thunderbird took its final shape, sleek and deadly, but still incomplete. On the 3rd day, as Duha was testing the bridge controls, an alarm sounded. "Ships approaching," the sensor operator called out. "Multiple signatures. Not Earth vessels." Duha felt her heart sink. "Council inspectors." "No," the operator said, his face pale. "Taraki warships, 5 of them. They found us." Duha stared at the screen in shock. "How? They shouldn't be here yet." "They must have sent a scout group ahead of their main fleet," Lee Jae-hoon said as he rushed onto the bridge. "We have maybe 10 minutes before they're in firing range." Duha hit the shipyard alarm. "All workers to emergency shuttles. Evacuation plan Delta." She turned to the ship's communication system. "Captain Taiwan, the Taraki have found us. We need to launch now." Taiwan's voice came back, tense but controlled. "I'm on my way. Begin launch sequence." Duha looked around the bridge. It wasn't fully staffed. Equipment was still in crates. Cables hung from open panels. "It's not ready," Sun Mai said, voicing what everyone was thinking. "It has to be," Duha replied. She moved to the captain's chair and began the startup sequence. "We wanted a trial by fire. It seems the universe is happy to oblige." As the first Taraki ships appeared on the long-range scanners, the Thunderbird's engines glowed to life. The incomplete warship broke free from its moorings and turned to face the approaching enemy. Humanity's last hope was about to face its first test. Captain Taiwan ran onto the bridge of the Thunderbird just as the ship cleared the asteroid. In front of them, 5 Taraki warships moved into attack position. Their sharp red hulls looked like claws against the black of space. "Status report," Taiwan ordered as he took the captain's chair from Duha. "Weapons are online. Shields at 80%. Quantum drive at 62%, she replied, moving to the engineering station. "Hull plating incomplete on decks 7 through 9. We have 17 crew members on board," Lee Jae-hoon added from the weapons console. "That's less than half what we need." Taiwan looked at the enemy ships on the screen. "It will have to be enough." The largest Taraki ship fired first. A bright beam of energy shot toward the Thunderbird. Everyone on the bridge tensed, waiting for impact. It never came. The beam hit the Thunderbird's shields and disappeared. No shake. No damage. Nothing. "Shield status?" Taiwan asked, surprised. "Still at 80%, Duha said, checking her readings. The adaptive shield matrix worked. It absorbed the energy completely. The Taraki fired again. And again. Each time, the shields held easily. "They look confused," Sun Mai said, watching the enemy ships change position. "They don't understand why their weapons aren't working." "Let's show them what our weapons can do," Taiwan said. "Ji-hoon, target the smallest ship. Low power. I want to test the gravitic lance." Jae-hoon aimed the new weapon. Target locked. Firing now. A pulse of invisible force shot from the Thunderbird. When it hit the Taraki ship, the effect was immediate. The ship's hull bent inward as if crushed by a giant hand. Then it split open like an egg. The ship exploded in silent fire. Everyone on the bridge stared in shock. That was at 20% power," Jae-hoon said quietly. Taiwan's face was grim. "Target the next ship." The Thunderbird moved with incredible speed. Its quantum drive didn't just push it through space. It seemed to flicker, appearing in one spot, then another. The Tereki couldn't track it. Their shots missed by miles. The gravitic lance fired again. Another ship destroyed. Then another. The two remaining Tereki ships tried to run. The Thunderbird caught them easily. "They're broadcasting a surrender signal," Sun Mai reported, her voice tight with disbelief. "The entire battle group is standing down." Taiwan's expression remained cold. "Tell them we accept their surrender, and inform them that Earth remembers its dead." The battle was over in less than 10 minutes. 5 Tereki warships against 1 experimental human vessel. It wasn't a fair fight. News of the Thunderbird spread quickly. Earth military leaders couldn't believe the reports at first. A single ship had destroyed 3 Tereki warships and captured 2 more. But the evidence was clear. The Thunderbird worked better than anyone had dared to hope. In the following days, the ship's small crew worked hard to finish the incomplete sections. More crew members arrived from Earth. The ship became fully operational. And then it went hunting. The main Tereki fleet was still moving toward Earth. 12 large warships and 20 smaller ones. They didn't know what was coming for them. The Thunderbird hit them from behind. The gravitic lance tore through the first warship before the Tereki knew they were under attack. By the time they turned to defend themselves, 3 more ships were destroyed. The Thunderbird moved like no vessel ever had. Its quantum displacement drive left no trace, its adaptive hull absorbed enemy fire, and its gravitic weapons tore through Tereki shields as if they were paper. "They're falling back," Jai-hoon reported during the third attack. "The entire fleet is retreating." Taiwan nodded. "Let them run. Let them tell others what happens when you attack Earth." But Duha looked concerned. She moved to stand beside the captain. "Sir, I'm detecting some strange readings from the Heta core." "What kind of readings?" "It's evolving. The AI is making changes to the ship's systems without our input." Taiwan frowned. "Is Blick doing this?" "I don't think so. Or not entirely." Duha looked troubled. "It's like the combination of Bak's mind and the alien technologies has created something new, something beyond what we designed." Before Taiwan could respond, an alert sounded. "Captain," Sun Mai called out, "we're receiving a message from Earth. The Galactic Council has called an emergency session. They know about the Thunderbird." On the Council space station, representatives from 300 alien species gathered in the Great Hall. The room buzzed with angry voices. "The humans have violated our most sacred laws," shouted a tall alien with green skin. "They have combined technologies in forbidden ways." "Their ship destroyed 12 Tereki vessels," said another. "Such power in the hands of primitives threatens us all." Representative Choi Yun-seo stood alone, facing their anger. "The Tereki attacked us first," she said calmly. "The Council refused to help Earth. We had no choice but to defend ourselves by creating an abomination." The green alien replied, "Your Thunderbird ship must be destroyed immediately." "I agree that action must be taken," said a blue-skinned council elder. "But first, we must understand what the humans have done." A large screen lit up, showing the ship approaching the station. The Thunderbird. The hall fell silent as the ship came into view. Even on the screen, it looked powerful and strange, unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. "They dare bring it here," someone whispered. The ship stopped near the station. A small shuttle left the Thunderbird and docked with the station. Minutes later, Captain Taiwan and Engineer Kim Duha were escorted into the hall. They stood beside Yun-seo, facing the council. "Humans," the elder said, "you have created a weapon that threatens the balance of power that has maintained peace for 10,000 years. What do you have to say?" Taiwan stepped forward. "We created a ship to defend Earth when you abandoned us. We used technologies that you said couldn't work together. We proved you wrong. And now you will use this ship to conquer others, as the Tereki tried to conquer you," the green alien said. "No," Duha replied. "The Thunderbird was built to protect, not conquer." "Then why bring it to our doorstep?" The elder asked. Is this a threat? It's a demonstration, Taiwan said. The Taraki have sent a message to their homeworld. They're gathering a larger fleet. They won't stop until Earth is destroyed. That is not our concern, the elder said coldly. It should be, Duha said, because we're going to stop them. And how we do it affects everyone in this room. The hall grew quiet again. The Thunderbird is heading to Tareki space, Taiwan announced. We will end this threat once and for all. The question is, will we do it as part of this council, following your rules as best we can? Or will we do it alone, making our own rules? The elder's 4 eyes blinked slowly. Are you asking for our permission, or giving us an ultimatum? Taiwan met the alien's gaze steadily. I'm offering you a choice. Join us in protecting peace, or stand aside while we do what we must. Behind them on the screen, the Thunderbird waited, silent and powerful, ready to change the galaxy forever. The council chamber remained silent for a long moment. 300 alien representatives looked at the 2 humans standing before them. Captain Taiwan and Engineer Dua did not look away or show fear. Finally, the blue-skinned elder spoke. The council will discuss this matter. You will wait outside. Taiwan, Duba, and Representative Yoon Seo were led to a small waiting room. Through the large window, they could see the Thunderbird floating in space. It looked both beautiful and dangerous. They're afraid, Yoon Seo said quietly. I've never seen the council this upset. Good, Taiwan replied. Fear might make them listen. Duha was checking a small device. Her face looked worried. Captain, I'm still getting strange readings from Haita. The AI is doing something unexpected. What kind of something? Taiwan asked. Before Duha could answer, her device made a sound. She looked at it in surprise. Haita is broadcasting a signal, she said. It's sending messages to the council station. I can't stop it. What kind of messages? Yoon Seo asked, alarmed. I don't know. It's encrypted, but it's going to every species representative here. Taiwan's face darkened. Bach's consciousness must be doing this. But why? They didn't have time to find out. A council guard entered the room. The council has reached a decision. You will return now. When they re-entered the Great Hall, something had changed. The angry shouts were gone. Many of the alien representatives looked confused. Some looked thoughtful. The elder gestured for the humans to stand in the center of the room. Captain Hyun Taiwan and Engineer Kim Duha of Earth, the elder said formally. The council has reviewed your actions and the existence of your warship, the Thunderbird. Taiwan stood straight, ready for their judgment. We have also, the elder continued, received data from your ship's AI system. Data that has complicated our discussion. Duha looked surprised. What data? A different council member stood up. This one had 4 arms and purple skin. Your eye has sent technical analysis to each species here. Analysis showing how our unique biologies prevented us from combining technologies as you have done. It appears, said another member, that humans possess a neural structure that allows you to understand and integrate concepts that our species physically cannot. The elder nodded. This is troubling. It suggests humans represent an evolutionary path we had not anticipated. Is that why you kept us isolated? Taiwan asked. Why you denied us full membership in the council? Partly, the elder admitted, but also because new species often destroy themselves when given too much power too quickly. The hall grew quiet again. On a large screen, images appeared showing the Thunderbird systems, diagrams that explained how the ship worked, how humans had done what alien races thought impossible. Your AI is offering us knowledge, the elder said. Peaceful applications of your combined technologies. It claims these can benefit all council races. Bake, Duho whispered. He's trying to help. The elder looked at the humans with all 4 eyes. The council has reached 2 conclusions. First, that the Thunderbird class of vessel is too powerful to be allowed. Such weapons could destroy the peace we have maintained for millennia. Taiwan's jaw tightened, and the second conclusion, that Earth's unique abilities make you valuable to the Council. Perhaps too valuable to keep as merely associate members. Taiwan and Doha exchanged surprised looks. We propose an agreement, the elder continued. The Thunderbird will be banned. No more ships of its kind will be built by any race, including humans. And in exchange, Yubseo asked cautiously, Earth will be granted full council membership, complete protection under our laws, access to all shared technologies, and a leading role in our science division. The room filled with murmurs, some approving, some angry. And the Taraki threat? Taiwan asked. The Council will send ships to stand with Earth. Together, we will show the Taraki that attacking a council member has consequences. Doha stepped forward. What about the Thunderbird itself? You expect us to destroy our only real defense. Not destroy, the elder said. Transform. Remove its weapons. Turn it into a vessel of exploration rather than war. Taiwan looked at Doha. This was her ship, her creation. The decision should be hers. Doha thought for a long moment. Then she asked, would I still command it? The elder nodded. You understand it best. And your eye, Bake, seems to have his own ideas for its future. 3 weeks later, Earth celebrated. The Taraki fleet had retreated after seeing the combined might of Earth and Council ships. The threat was over. Peace treaties were being discussed. On the landing pad outside Earth's capital city, the Thunderbird sat gleaming in the sun. It looked different now. The weapon ports were gone. New sections had been added. It was beautiful in a different way. Doha stood looking up at it, her heart full of mixed feelings. Having second thoughts, Taiwan asked, walking up beside her. No, she said. Bake was right. We can do more with this ship than just fight. The Council is still afraid of us, Taiwan said. That's why they want to keep us close. Watch what we do. Let them watch, Doha replied with a smile. We'll show them things they never imagined. Inside the ship, the Heta core glowed steadily. Baek's consciousness had spread throughout the systems, learning, growing, becoming something new, just as humanity's place in the galaxy was becoming something new. A group of alien scientists approached, led by Representative Yubseo. They would be joining the Thunderbird's first mission beyond known space. Are you ready, Captain Kim? Yubseo asked. Doha turned to look at her new crew. Humans and aliens working together, sharing knowledge that would change everything. They feared what we could do in war, Doha said as she prepared to board her ship. Wait until they see what we can do in peace. Above them, the stars waited, not as places to conquer, but as places to understand. The Thunderbird would lead the way, a ship so powerful, the Galactic Council had banned it as a weapon, but embraced it as a bridge between worlds. As Doha walked up the ramp into her ship, she heard Baek's voice in her mind. The real power was never the weapons, he said. It was the ability to see connections that others couldn't, to bring different things together and make them work as one. Doha smiled. That was humanity's gift to the stars. And now the journey could truly begin.